Hey guys, want to bring you another YouTube video talking about Brandon Aiyuk's trade request from the Niners. So obviously, I'm a Niners fan and love the NFL, um, but we've already dealt with something like this with Debo, um, Nick Bosa, and then usually, more like Debo. It's more of a play from Debo because remember Debo during the offseason wanted a trade request if we weren't going to pay him. So I think a little bit of both parties at fault, but what I would do at this point. Um, so if you knew you're not going to pay them, and you knew them, I don't know if they didn't know the market was going to go up on wide receivers, but the writing was in the wall with like Tyreek Hill on how much you have to pay and how much it was going to go up. Um, if they really wanted to keep Brandon Aiyuk, you should have paid him earlier than Jefferson and before Amon St. Brown because those two were next up on getting contract, and so they were going to have to pay more than what they offer. I believe I heard $26 million. $26 million is just $1 million more than what Debo got, and so that wasn't going to be enough. I thought, and I could see where Brandon Ayuk is coming from on that side because more receiving yards for the team, and he's a better route runner than Debo. Um, but here's something you have to think about: no Super Bowl winning team recently, for sure, I could think of had a number one wide receiver paid like that. So what I mean by that is you don't see the Chiefs paying their receiver like top dollars as one of the top receivers. You can't really build a team like that. Yeah, you want a quarterback like that could change and keep your receivers pretty cheap. That's what the Patriots figured out with Tom Brady, and that's what they figured out with the Chiefs. And so what you know already, you're going to have to pay Brock Purdy very soon. That's why I kept saying last year or this upcoming year is the last time this window is going to be open right now because you can't pay everybody because Brock is going to take so much of that salary cap. I can't see him taking a pay cut. And even if you wanted a pay cut, your definition of pay cut, say he took 50 million instead of 60 million, because I think he might get closer to that 60 million because quarterbacks contracts keep going up. So, and I think the highest right now is like 55, 56 million per year. So if you go and pay Brock, say, let's say team friendly, I doubt they're going to say they could get 50. I doubt. But even so, that's still 50 times more than what he was making right now. And if that's 50 times more, where or how are you going to pay Brandon Aiyuk? So they should have, if they're going to not pay him and don't have the money because they know that, or they're going to have to trade like Debo Samuel or one of the higher paid players that's not producing on their contract. And so the other thing as Brandon Aiyuk is why he thinks the Niners don't want him anyway is because if you're looking at your teammate like Christian McCaffrey, he just reset the market for the running backs, and he didn't need a new contract yet. So, um, so I was a little bit surprised because running backs usually don't get that big contract or another contract after age 30. And so, because that contract's going to take him past age 30. But they think that he's going to be durable enough and be able to maintain that production. So, yeah, and I can see why Brandon Ayuk's like, well, then demand a trade because you don't want a Dak Prescott or Clay Thompson, like an injury during the season because you have no guarantees after this. And so I can see why he doesn't want to play on that contract. You want that long term security because it's your next big payday. And but unfortunately, I don't think Brandon Aiyuk has much leverage, except this is his last thing he could try to do. Um, and especially if he's seen it worked for Debo to be able to get that long term contract for trying to demand trade. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't really think they would trade him at this point. They could find him every day. They definitely need him, especially Ricky Pearsall. For some reason, is not training right now because it sounds like he might have been hurt, but they haven't said why. So, um, Brock Purdy's going to need his weapons. And this is, like I said, it's the last year they could keep everyone together before Brock Purdy needs to get paid. Brandon Aiyuk, if he's willing to pay, he'll play on this last year of the contract, and then maybe get extended next year on that big contract. So it's going to be a big season for the Niners. I think that this is their only window to be open right now. So what I would do is try to make him play on the 5th year and then extend him the next following year and then see what the salary cap is with Brock Purdy after that. Maybe trade Debo if he's not producing as well. See who else you could trade that's not going to hurt your cap as bad. So you don't want that dead cap like what happened to the Broncos with Russell Wilson. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Especially if you're a Niners fan, go ahead and comment what you would do. All right, thanks. And together we could build a better tomorrow. Thanks.